This is the story of 4 Appalachian communities.
Brownsville, Pennsylvania.
Scott County, Tennessee.
Grundy, Virginia.
Coal River Valley, West Virginia.
And the people that are
Revitalizing downtown.
Growing community gardens.
Restoring watersheds.
developing trails.
Some have been there for generations.
Some of us for less than a year.
We face challenges.
But at the end of the day,
We are
We are
we are Appalachian Strong.
My name is Jamie Brackman. I'm from Auburn, Pennsylvania.
My name's Sarah Goots. I'm from Cleveland, Ohio, and I'm serving in Brownsville, Pennsylvania.
I grew up in a small town in Appalachia that has a lot of the same issues that we face here in Brownsville with pre-regulatory coal mining and the decline in industry. And
I was looking to do something other than engineering right off the bat. I needed to challenge myself and just kind of jump into a completely new community, and so that's why I chose to do a year of service with AmeriCorps.
I chose the Appalachian Coal Country team as it struck a chord with me personally to be serving in communities that had some of the same problems that I noticed in my own community.
The challenge on the day-to-day here in Brownsville is that the community is one where they've been hurt before.
There have been promises made to this community that were broken. This place used to really be a boom town during the industrial era, and it hasn't been that for a little while now, but people still have a great memory of the town that used to be.
The reason Brownsville became prosperous at that point is because most of the coal mining patch towns had their own company stores, had their own essentials they could have, but if you wanted something beyond that, if you wanted like nice fancy shoes, nice fancy clothes, furniture, Brownsville had all of that. And during that era of the early 1900s to about 1950s, Brownsville was extremely prosperous.
Well, in the heyday, Brownsville was the community that everybody came to. We had stores. You could get anything you needed in Brownsville. And it was this way until about 1985. And then we lost all the stores. But prior to that, you couldn't walk the streets on Saturday night. There were so many people. I would have buses running until 11 o'clock at night, taking people home from the theaters. We had 3 theaters in town.
I can remember getting the bus, living in Maxwell. There was a bus that came out there every Saturday, 2 trips a day. My mom and I would come into Brownsville and go shopping, or catch the trolley or the train to Uniontown or Pittsburgh.
Lived here, raised my family here, my children educated and left the area. That really was a big thing to know that there is work for them somewhere in the world, and then you sit back sometime and think, why don't we have those opportunities here?
The problem in Appalachia is lack of opportunity. So as a native West Virginian, I'm very proud to still be here, but we also know that people that look like me and that are my age leave to find other opportunities to support their families.
Throughout Appalachia, communities and individuals are hard at work creating economic opportunities. Organizations like the Coal River Group actively support the development of local businesses.
The one very important thing to me is to bring an educational level for entrepreneurship into the mix so that we begin to train people who want to continue to live here, who may not have an opportunity to work for a coal company in the future. They've got to learn to go in business and be business people and start their own shop or start their own bait shop. And we got a beautiful recreation infrastructure with the rivers that we've helped to create, which could provide long-term jobs and could create capital for so many people if they can just wrap their arms around being business people.
I helped the Coal River Group through the process of starting our own business. So we actually bought a boat rental business. So we now have a fleet of 34 rental canoes and kayaks that we offer full livery and shuttle service on the Coal Rivers. So part of that project, the real pivotal key for a nonprofit with no paid staff going to running and operating a business is who is going to run the business. And so my role in the foundational stages was to start an internship program. So I worked with the local universities in our area to create a interdisciplinary internship program. And we now have 3 outstanding young individuals who are fully running our boat rental business.
We were able to offer them grants or scholarship money to come out here and help us set up the kayak business.
I'm a college student at WVU. I'm a senior now in majoring in wildlife and fisheries. As part of my internship, we are kind of learning entrepreneurial stuff. We learn how to run the business of the boat rental, kind of the financial side and the customer service, and we have projects that we have kind of chosen for ourselves. My project is doing some mapping of the river and the different access points and camping areas in the park.
I knew before I even applied to be a Vista with the Appalachian Coal Country team that I wanted to be doing what I'm doing in a community with an economy long based on resource extraction that now has fizzled out. And how do you help these communities that so often get forgotten and just pushed aside as we become an increasingly urban society? Who cares about mining towns? Well, I do. I am drawn to these places for whatever reason, and so I felt a real pull to be part of this community and helping it have a brighter future.
Increasing entrepreneurship and rehabilitating dilapidated buildings play a central role in restoring hope and optimism in Brownsville, Pennsylvania.
Brownsville Area Revitalization Corporation's main goal is economic redevelopment in Brownsville, and we achieve that goal through many different avenues. One of the main ways we work to revitalize Brownsville is through redevelopment of a lot of properties that would otherwise be empty. And we own 9 properties in the downtown, and most of them are fully rented out to either commercial tenants or residential tenants. And
currently now have 10 or 12 businesses that are in our properties that we own, and most of the property has been donated to us by people who have faith that we're trying to do something in the community and who really care.
This is 25 Market Street, also known as the Silver Building. This is the commercial space. Currently housing the Brownsville Family Pharmacy, which does really good business here in the downtown of Brownsville, and we'll be moving into the neighboring building because they have a wider commercial space down there once that space is renovated. The facade is restored also, and this would be the future site of the Brownsville Community Cultural Arts Center, where we'll have a theater and stage. So this building is one of has been, as a Vista, has been one of my focuses actually. This one's special to me, and also the Vista apartment is directly above us, actually, also in this building. So we'll check out 27 Market Street and see where this building was before Bark got a hold of it. It still has a long way to go, but through grant funding, we've been able to stabilize the building. A lot of time, that's what these buildings look like before Bark was able to get a hold of them and restore them. Eventually, this will be the home of the Brownsville Family Pharmacy. Hopefully, it's scheduled to be completed by the end of next year if all the fundraising comes through the way that it's supposed to. And then that's part of a larger project called the Keystone Project that will basically transform these 2 neighboring buildings in Brownsville into a community hub and center. With more than just a single apartment, we're going to actually have a total of 8 apartments up in the top floor of these 2 buildings. So the total funding for that is around $800,000. And in my time here, I've been able to get a decent portion of that so that we're able to complete the first phase, which will restore this space. So I'm hoping that if I come back in a year's time after my service, we'll see this this space restored and in use. We are in the basement of the Gazali building, which is the former Brownsville Brewer building from the 1800s. Bork also rents a number of other spaces currently in the Flatiron building and in our other properties, and it's one of the ways that Bork encourages vibrancy in Brownsville.
I think Bork has made a great effort in revitalizing the community and restoring a lot of the history in Brownsville and preserving that history for the future.
Bork puts its all into making Brownsville a better place and making community members happy to be here.
I think that people are still proud of Brownsville and still would like to see it come back in some way.
Well, Brownsville will always be here. It will never be a community for retail stores, but we're certainly hoping that it will become a bedroom community and bring younger people into the community.
There's a need here. It's just, stepping up to the plate and trying to make it happen. I really know, not just believe this, but I know that we could not be where we are today without the AmeriCorps program. I love it for what it does for us selfishly, but I also think about what it does for the young person. To give of your life for a year when you're not making a lot of money, to live in a community that you don't know, I think it's probably the greatest growing experience a young person can do. But it's the ideas they bring. That's what I love. I love the ideas they bring. I love the work ethic they bring. And it really, I think, sets the goal for them for the future. Without that type of a program, we could not have survived all these years.
350 miles south in Scott County, Tennessee, residents feel similarly about the importance of AmeriCorps members in their community.
Nikki has done a fabulous job for us. She really came in with a lot of energy, and she was a breath of fresh air. But it seemed like she really fit nicely to our community. Living in an area that is impoverished like Scott County has been, educating kids on eating healthy and growing their own foods is definitely a goal of ours.
We're really working right now to alleviate poverty in this area by giving these children an opportunity to learn and grow and showing them what kind of amazing things that this region has to offer for them. The kids that I work with, their stories are really, really that of a lot of struggle. So I get up every day and go to work to help them realize that their potential and their opportunities in their lives, and that they really can have a great future, and it can start now. Like they have the opportunity to become caring, capable, and productive citizens now.
Doyle McCarthy, the Vista volunteer for 2012 and 13. He reached out and helped this community so much. And he's the one that the kids love. They love to hug on with those long legs. So he's done a wonderful job at our preschool. And the gardens that he has started and grown, he's reached out with those too. But, that was his job. But what he has done is he's volunteered. He was an assistant coach at Winfield Elementary on the football team. And while there, he tutored some kids. He went to the Boys and Girls Club and helped on the basketball team. He didn't just stop with what he came to town to do. He reached out and helped others. It's just been wonderful.
I've been faced with a lot of challenges, and to me, the greatest opportunity has been proving to myself that I can overcome those challenges. And this has kind of made me prove to myself that I can meet challenges, and has given me confidence in the future that if work is tough, if life is hard, there are ways to get through it and stay happy while you do it. But I think living life as a Vista kind of shows the best side of you, that you're willing to move your whole life and not take very much with you. You live in poverty. And I think that helps show your community, show the people you work with that you're not there for some selfish reasons.
I can't imagine at this point if we did lose our vistas and we weren't able to have vistas next year, we would make it, but I believe that we would not be able to continue to grow at the rate that we are needed in our community.
But in the spring of 2013, the Appalachian Coal Country team and many other AmeriCorps Vista sponsors received some devastating news that due to sequester cuts, many communities, including Scott County, would be without vistas until further notice.
Through this sequester, right now there's a lot of upset people, and me included, that we're trying to work through that and finding other solutions for these organizations, and that's what we do. That's what makes us unique. We're not just the VISTA program.
Not having VISTA next year has presented complications. First of all, the garden, I'm worried if parents and children lose enthusiasm, then things could rot in the ground, which would be sad.
With any kind of program that you're trying to start from ground level, I mean, it takes time to develop it, and then once you start developing it, you get some momentum going. And with Nikki being here and focusing on those, you know, obviously she's built some momentum. She's got the program, the groundwork already laid down, and I fear that the momentum will be lost. Obviously, she brings to the table energy and focus on those kinds of things. And really, I've got to be honest with you, I hope to keep Nikki on. We're looking at every financial resource we possibly can. We've written several grants, and just hopefully we can keep her.
We pride ourselves, the Appalachian Coal Country team, as being a net importer of talent. We recruit nationally, but when we bring people from outside of Appalachia, they come in and they understand the sense of place, the sense of community, and they end up finding their niche and who they are. And we have about 90 of our 250 alumni that have been through our program have stayed in Appalachia, and they're doing phenomenal things wherever they have served. And they credit their time with the Appalachian Coal Country team for their success now.
As their year of service comes to a close, our 6 newcomers make plans for the next phase of their life and reflect on what this year has meant to them.
I'd really love to work with the Boys and Girls Club, and my supervisor and I have been working really hard with grants to hopefully keep me here in Scott County for another year or so.
When I finish my term of service next February 2014, I hope to stay on with the Coal River Group as the first paid contracted employee to keep doing what I'm doing, writing grants, managing projects, planning events, and bringing life back to the Coal Rivers.
My being here, I can leave knowing that I did some good, and I'll never forget.
What's next for me? I am driving my Ford Fusion back to Seattle and applying for jobs, probably moving with mom and dad.
I would like to continue serving with the ACCT because I really do believe in the mission, and like as I've said, I believe in this region and in its people. I think it's a place that has great need, but also great opportunity.
I'm staying in Grundy. I'm not really sure yet which job I'll take. I've got a couple of offers on the table, which is really great. But I'm definitely going to stay here, stay involved in this project and with these people. I can't even put into words what this year has meant to me. It's just been so awesome to be a part of something bigger than myself. Not just within Grundy or within the ACCT team, but as AmeriCorps as a whole. I have this incredible year-long experience, and I feel more than ready to sit down in an interview and say, "Hi, I'm Jessica. Let me tell you about my VISTA year. Let me tell you how awesome it was to work for almost nothing in a town where I knew almost nobody and make an impact out of that and grow from this little Iowa girl to someone who's ready to commit to, a year or more in Grundy again." It's kind of that old saying where you get out of an experience what you put into it. And I've kind of lived by that statement this year. It's not just about money, it's about time and about what you treasure, and are you investing your time in that place.
With Jessica, that's another set of eyes, different perspective, different thoughts of maybe way things could be done. Just ends up with a better project, better community.
You know, I knew as soon as she came in that she wasn't from here, but we made her hopefully feel like she's one of ours, and we told her she didn't need to leave.
We're working through the process of progress. Grundy has decided to invest in ways for people to stay here through a law school and a pharmacy school and pretty soon an optometry school. And there are ways that people can reinvest in this community. And I think that's the most awesome thing that they've done with all of their challenges.
5 to 10 years, I like to see us as a small university town. I really feel that has maybe been the foresight of a lot of the leaders in the past, because we do now have the law school, we do have the pharmacy school, soon to be getting the optometry school. This will be a university town that are just nestled in the mountain area.
The bonus of being a Vista is you get to see all of the collaboration and kind of be a part of it. You get to see all these people who care about this community and who want to see it grow, that they want it to be a good opportunity for the next generation. And that is what makes Appalachia so great.
I come to work every day because I wake up every morning hoping that I'm going to be able to make a difference here, and that even when I'm facing a task that I would really prefer not to complete, I know that it's all part of something that's greater than me, and that I think is really a positive force for change in this world and in Appalachia, and that's what I want to see. And the place that I grew up, I love it now. I didn't always love it, but I love it now. And I just want to see it continue to change for the better. And I guess that's what keeps me coming to work every morning. Just hoping to see, maybe if I have kids someday, things will be better for them than they were for me.